Hey, what's going on? It's Brian Knight. Thank you for joining me on my Clemson football recap. Tonight they played at Louisville against the defending Heisman Trophy winner, Lamar Jackson. I want to stop here and say this. Lamar Jackson is extremely explosive. He's very talented. This guy has to be respected. If you want to lose the game, you don't respect him. You say, I'm going to cover everybody else and we'll just let whatever happens, happens. This guy's very, very talented. Vegas said that Clemson was a 3-point favorite. Said they were minus the 3. They went to Louisville tonight with Kelly Bryant. This was his first away ball game. Played at Louisville and won 47-21. My Tigers, I grew up within 10 minutes of Clemson, so I had no choice but to be a Clemson fan. Clemson won 47-21. I'll have to say that I did not expect that commanding of a win. I know that Clemson has a lot of talent at every position, and most importantly, on the sidelines, the guys who are wearing the headsets, they have a lot of talent. They know what they're doing. They won the national championship last year, not against just anybody, but against Alabama, and that has to be taken into account. They were going up to Louisville tonight, and they were playing against Lamar Jackson. And I will say this, Louisville has a lot of talent on it. Bobby Petrino is a good coach. But when you step back and you logically think about this entire game, from the defense to the offense to the special teams, but especially to the coaching, you have to lean towards Clemson. More than 3 points. Now, for me, I was extremely nervous. I thought maybe Lamar Jackson would come out there and just absolutely just torch the field. Clemson would play undisciplined football. I'll have to say that also that though they beat Auburn last week 14-6, I was not impressed with the win. I'm glad that Clemson won. I'm glad they didn't lose, in some crazy, stupid way. But I'll also have to say that it seemed like Clemson's offense was extremely lackadaisical. The offense finished last week's game against Auburn with 11 sacks. Tonight, they sacked Lamar Jackson. I didn't see the final numbers on it. I know they got it. I think they got him at least 4, maybe 5 times. But the point is, football is different than basketball. Basketball is 5-on-5. So if you have one really good player, they can dominate the game. In football, you have 11 playing on offense. You have 11 playing on defense. Very rarely do you have one player who's switching to either side. And then special teams has a mixture of first, second, and even sometimes third string players. 47-21 Clemson really blew me away. Lamar Jackson threw a pick 6. Then, for me, aside from Kelly Bryant coming in and just dominating, throwing the ball fantastic, running the ball hard, you have to respect his speed. You have to respect everyone around him. If you don't, you will pay for it. What blew me away, Travis Etienne, the brand new true freshman running back out of Louisiana, he was a last-minute pickup for Clemson. I mean, it was just a last-minute pickup. This guy can run fast, but he runs hard. He had, I believe it was an 80-yard touchdown. Forgive me, guys, if I missed that. Wow. That really solidifies the future of Clemson football. But they win tonight 47-21. I really don't know what to say other than they won. They won commandingly. I did give a prediction to a few of my friends, and I haven't posted it on Facebook or YouTube or any other social media site, but I have said that if Clemson comes out of September undefeated, I believe they have a great chance to run the table and get back in the college football playoff. Now, I'm not going to promise you that they're going to win the national championship again. That's very difficult to do 2 years in a row. I think the last team who did that was Nebraska back in the 90s. But I do believe they have the coaching. I do believe they have the talent to make a run at it. But we'll see. We'll see. There's no promises there. Tonight, a couple of takeaways that I do have for this game is that I believe that Clemson played it extremely safe last weekend. They threw the ball a little bit downfield. But tonight, they threw the ball downfield a few more times. It seems like they committed more to the run of Kelly Bryant. And I also believe that they told everyone tonight, they made a statement. We're going to contain Jackson, but we're also going to make an attempt to not only contain him, but to dominate him. And he did get his yardage because he's a fantastic player. You have to respect that. If you don't respect that, you're not very smart in the football game. There's just some players you have to accept they're going to get their yardage because they are that talented. And Jackson is. Lamar Jackson is a fantastic player. But he's playing against 4 defensive linemen who are outrageously talented. So you have 4 guys versus 1 guy, and exactly what happened. So my takeaway is that though they played offensively more, I would say, conservative last week, and I think Auburn's defense is a little better than Louisville. I also have to step back and say that I believe that they opened up the playbook in this game. I've said this, and I can't remember whether I said this on this video or not. Forgive me if I have. I believe that if Clemson comes out of this month of September undefeated, because they'll have to play BC next week. I saw Boston College play against Wake Forest. They got torched. They played against Notre Dame. Notre Dame let them hang around. I don't know what's going on with Notre Dame, but they eventually put Boston College away. I believe Clemson will put away Boston College. And then the next week they play Virginia Tech. I think that Clemson has the coaching staff and the talent to beat them, and I believe that they will beat them. Now, will I say that they're going to beat Virginia Tech by 3 touchdowns? No, but I believe that they will beat them. I believe that really the conclusion of that statement is that Clemson will run the table again. They'll make it to the college football playoff. I don't know that they'll win the national championship, but what I really want to say is I'm proud of my Tigers. Replacing Deshaun Watson is not easy. If anybody thinks that replacing that guy is easy, you've lost your mind. You don't know football. I also want to say this too, that I think that more of us in the college football world, that we enjoy the pregame shows, that we enjoy certain college football specialty shows, and I do. And I also give respect that a lot of these guys who are on these shows, they're just having to take information that's given to them on particular teams and just run with it because they can't study every team. I mean, let's be honest and let's be understanding. They can't study every football team. But I will say that they're giving information by assistants. They're giving information by people who are giving them really surface level information. They can't make decisions about who's going to win what game where. You and I are probably more likely to guess it right than a lot of the experts, all because they have to keep up with so much. So let's not be so hard on them. But I will say this, if you step back and you looked at this game, in the back of my mind, I had this little logical voice going, it's one player versus an entirely talented defense. How do you think this is going to turn out? If I laid this out here and you took away your team that you pulled for, how do you think this would turn out? Logically, I would say, Clemson wins the ball game. Clemson wins the ball game. And not only do they win the ball game, they win it at least by 2 touchdowns. Because it's football. You know, the whole case scenario of 11 versus 11 and that, you know, that kind of idea. I think that we have to really take away from this game that one player does not change everything. I'm not saying that one player going down is not an impact. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just making this statement that one player who's fantastic playing against an entire defense who's ridiculous, they can't do it. Especially in the college football game. Very difficult. Very difficult. So I'm extremely happy with my Tigers winning the game. They'll play Boston College. I expect them to win unless something bad really happens. And I expect them to win against Virginia Tech. Well, this is Brian Knight giving you my thoughts on the Clemson-Louisville game. Go Tigers. You won 47-21. You dominated. The most dominating game against Louisville since they joined the league. This is Brian Knight saying, go Tigers.